Dear students, welcome to the lecture on machine learning. In last video, we discussed about mean, median, mode. These are the three important measures we used as a part of a central tendency. See, central tendency is a statistical measure. By using central tendency, we are going to calculate mean, median, and mode for the data set. See here, what is a mean? Mean is an average value. Suppose you may take 5 values. Mean for the those 5 values is calculated by using the formula summation of all 5 elements by total number of elements. Here total number of elements is 5. And similarly, median is the middle value. To calculate the median, we are using formula called as n plus 1 by 2. Before going to use this equation, you must arrange all the elements in sorted order. The order should be descending order. Means big number comes first. Later you will arrange the small number. Like that, the elements are arranged. Whereas in mode indicates most frequently occurring value. Most frequently occurring value. I am talking about one mode. You may consider 2 modes or 3 modes, like that. Mode is representing. See, most occurring character is a most occurring value is representing by using mode. Simply we are counting the number of occurrences of a particular value from the data set. These are the 3 important measures we are using under central tendency. And the next one is statistics of dispersion. See, all these are what? See, statistical measures are categorized into 3 types. The first one is statistics of central tendency. Second one is statistics of dispersion. And the third type is shape statistics. Total, there are 3 types of statistical measures. In last video, we discussed about statistics of central tendency. In this video, I am going to explain statistics of dispersion and statistics of shape. Coming to the see, these are the examples I already discussed with you regarding central tendency explanation. Right? These are this is the example for mean calculation. Here sigma indicates summation of x, means here x indicates what? The elements which are in the x. Here 1, 5, 4, 3, 2 are the elements existed in the x. We are summing all the elements by using this formula. Summation of x means 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. You will get 15 as the sum. Then what we need to do? What is the formula to calculate the mean value? Summation of x by n. Here n indicates the number of elements which are in the data set. Now observe this. Here n indicates number of elements or number of scores. Here sum is 15. 15 by number of elements is 5. Then you will get 3. Here 3 is the mean value for these 5 elements. 3 is the mean value for these 5 elements. Like this, we are calculating the mean value. Then coming to the next one, that is median. Median is what? Middle value. Here middle value is calculating by using 2 steps. The first step is arrange all the elements in sorted order. The sorted order is descending sorted order. Descending sorted order means big value comes first, then small value will be placed. Like this, the elements are arranged. Then we need to identify the middle value. To know the middle value, we are using the formula like this. N plus 1 by 2 is the formula to calculate the middle value. Middle value is equal to N plus 1 by 2. See, here we are calculating middle value in two ways. Why? Because based on the N value, if N is even, we are using one approach. If N is odd, we are using some other approach. See, here, these are the elements existed in the data. Then we are going to arrange all these elements in sorted order. That is step 1 to calculate the median. Then we need to find middle value. See, now how many number of elements are existed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Total N value is 11. 11 plus 1, that is what? 12. 12 by 2 indicates 6. 12 by 2 is what? 6. Then sixth index. See, this is first index element, second index element, third index element, fourth index element, fifth index element, sixth index element is what? 9. Sixth element is what? 9. See, while finding the sixth element, while finding the element by using this formula, you need to remember you must compare with the sorted order list only. Don't compare with the input list. See, input list is arranged in sorted order, in descending sorted order. Then you calculated N plus 1 by 2. Right? The position should be compared with the sorted elements. That is the important point here. You need to remember. Then this example explains if N is odd number. Why? Because 11 is odd number, right? Now coming to the even case, right? Now coming to the even case, see this example here. This is the data we are using to calculate the median. Now middle value we are going to calculate. There are total 6 elements, right? All these elements are arranged in sorted order first. Then we need to apply the formula. The formula is what? N plus 1 by 2. See, here N value is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 1. 6 plus 1 is what? 7. 7 by 2 means 3.5. See, the output is what? 3.5. Then what we need to do? There is no 3.5 index element. Say, this is what? First index, second index, third index, and fourth index. There is no 3.5 index. Because of that reason, we are adding the 3 and 4th location values. Third location value is 19, fourth location value is 18. Third location value plus fourth location value, that is what? 19 plus 18, that is a 37. 37 by 2. Why? Because we need 3.5, that is middle value. Then 19 plus 18 by 2, what you will get? You will get a 18.5 as the median value for this data set. Got the point? Like this, we are calculating median for even count. The earlier example shows median calculation for odd value, odd count. Then we discussed about mode. See, here mode is what? Most occurring value. Most occurring value, the value which is repeated many a number of times, more number of times, right? Such kind of values are called as mode values. Here observe these 3 data sets. Here first row shows there is no mode. Why? Because each element is appeared only once in the data set. Now coming to the one mode data set, if you observe the second row, in second row 4.9 appeared 3 times. See the red color locations. 4.9 appeared 3 times. 6.3 also appeared more than 1 time in this data set. How many times 6.3 appeared? 2 times appeared. But here we are considering only one mode. Because of that reason, here 4.9 is the mode. Similarly, observe the last example. That is what? See here 43 appeared in 2 times, 28 also appeared in 2 times. Means there are equal counts, right? In the earlier case, 6.3 appeared only 2 times, but 4.9 appeared 3 times. Then we consider 4.9 as the mode. Whereas in third case, 28 appeared 2 times, 43 appeared 2 times in the data set. And the remaining elements 41 and 22 appeared only 1 time. In this case, we are considering more than 1 time, right? We are considering more than 1 mode. The modes are 28 and 43 for this data set. Like this, we calculating mode. And the current topic is statistics of dispersion. Here, we are using 2 well-known statistical dispersions. Those are, the first one is variance and the second one is standard deviation. Variance is also called as average squared deviation. Average squared deviation, right? See here, standard deviation is calculating by using variance. Why? Because square root of variance is called as standard deviation. See, if you want to calculate standard deviation, you must calculate the variance. Then we need to find square root of the variance. The square root of the variance is called standard deviation, right? What is the formula we need to use? What is the formula we need to use to find variance? Formula for variance is S square is equal to 1 by n minus 1. Here n indicates what? Number of elements in the data set, right? S square is equal to, here S square indicates what? Variance. That is equal to 1 by n minus 1. Summation of I is equal to 1 to n into xi minus x bar whole square. Here xi indicates individual elements minus average. This is what? Mean value whole square. That is equal to 1 by n minus 1 into summation of xi square. Means what? For each element we are performing square operation and summing operation, minus 1 by n into summation of xi square. This is the formula we are using to find the variance. And coming to the standard deviation, we are not using any special formula to find the standard deviation. Square root of the variance is called as standard deviation. Then after calculating the variance, we are square rooting the variance, then we will get standard deviation, right? And the next one is percentile. Here percentile is one of the statistical dispersion. Observe this, here pth percentile is the value such that p% of the instances fall below it. Means suppose here you may take 100 instances. There are 100 instances in the data set. 8th percentile is the value of 81st instance. Means what? Means what? You are talking about 81st, mean 81 instance, right? Here observe this, if p is multiple of 25th percentiles, this is called as quartiles. What is a quartile? See, here quartile is a multiple of 25th percentiles. 25th percentiles. And multiple of 10th percentiles also called as deciles. Remember, these are the measures we are using. Here percentile indicates a single value, single instance. Then multiplication of 25th percentiles are treated as quartiles. Multiplication of 10 percentiles treated as a decile. Remember, percentile, quartile, decile. And observe this, 50th percentile, the 5th decile, and second quartile. See, all these are same. 15th percentile, 5th decile. See, 5 into 10. See, why? Because for decile, how many multiples we are using? How many percentile multiplications of percentiles we are using? 10. 5 into 10 indicates 50, 15th percentile. And quarter, for quarter 25 we are using, 25 percentiles we are using. 25 into 2 means what? That is 15th percentile. This 15th percentile is also called as median. See, what is the median? What is the equivalents? What are the equivalents for median? 15th percentile is equivalent to median. 5th decile is equal to median. Second quartile is equal to median. Got the point? Here, percentiles, deciles, quartiles are special cases of quantiles. Right? These are what? Quantities. How much quantity? It means quartile, decile, median, right? Percentile. These are what? Quantities. Because of that reason, we are calling these are percentile, decile, quartile are the special cases of quantiles. Special cases of quantiles. Now coming to the data dispersion measuring. Measuring the dispersion of data. Here, data is measured by using quartiles, percentiles, deciles, median, etc. Observe this. Here we are using quartiles for understanding quartiles. Here I explained in the previous slide, I explained percentiles, deciles, right? These are what? These are quantiles. All these are what? Quantiles. For measuring purpose, we are using quantiles. Similarly, here we are using outliers and box plots. What are the data dispersion measures available? Right? Data dispersion measured by using quantiles, quartiles, outliers, box plots. Once again, I am repeating. Data dispersion measured by using quartiles, outliers, box plots, etc. Coming to the quartiles. Quartiles are also called as, see, observe this. This is what a box plot. Before going to discuss about quartile, I would like to explain 5 number summary. If you observe this box plot, this is a box plot. This box plot is used to represent the data. Means for data dispersion, we are using box plots. We are using box plots to know the sales of the multinational company. If it is a data warehousing and mining, this box plot is going to explain all electronic sales company. In data warehousing and mining also, we discussed this box plot. This box plot is called as 5 number summary. What it contains? It contains 5 numbers. The first one is minimum value. Last one is the maximum value. Observe the diagram here. Minimum. This indicates what? Minimum value. And this one indicates maximum value. What is the starting of the box plot? Minimum value. What is the ending of the box plot? Maximum value. Between minimum and maximum, we are placing 3 more values. We are placing 3 more values. Here, quartile indicates what? 25th percentile. Second quartile is also called as median. Second quartile is also called as median. We already know what is the median. Median is a middle value. That is what we discussed in the earlier video. To know the median value, which formula we are using? First, we need to arrange the data set or given elements into descending sorted order. Then we need to apply the formula like n plus 1 by 2. If n is a odd number, you will get the min, you will get the middle value directly. If n is an even number, you will get a decimal points. There is no value with the decimal point position. Because of that reason, you are adding middle two values. Then you are dividing the sum with 2. That is what median. Median is also called as middle value. And coming to the first quartile and third quartile. First quartile indicates 25th percentile. Median indicates 15th percentile, 50th percentile. Third quartile indicates 75th percentile. And maximum is what? 100th percentile. Minimum is what? 0th percentile. Got the point? If you represent the same by using percentile, minimum is what? 0th percentile. First is what? 25th percentile. Median is what? 50th percentile. Third quarter is what? Third quartile is what? 75th percentile. Maximum is what? The difference between maximum and minimum value is called as range. Right? See, what we discussed till now, we discussed about 5-number summary. Here 5-number summary is called as box plot. Box plots are used to represent the data. See, if you observe this, the data is dispersed. The data dispersion happened by using box plot. See, observe this. This is what one box plot. This is another box plot. Like this, the data representing. Right? In 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional view, the data will be representing like this. Observe this. This is what the organization and cost of the organization is representing by using this 5-number summary, means box plot. How much revenue generated for the particular company is also representing like this. See here, this is single box plot, right? In each level we represent box plot like this. Here data is dispersion by using box plots. And the next one is, see, yes. Coming to the quartiles, here in box plots we observe 2 quartiles. One is Q1 and another one is Q3. Here Q1 represents 25th quartile, I already told to you. Q3 represents 75th percentile. See, Q3 indicates what? Q1, Q3 are the quartiles which are appearing on the box plot. See, Q1 is also called as 25th percentile. Q3 is also called as 75th percentile. And we are using IQR, that is interquartile range. Means what? The difference between third quartile and the first quartile. Here IQR is what? Interquartile range. What is the full form of IQR? Interquartile range. Interquartile range means the difference between third quartile and the first quartile. And here we used what? 5-number summary. In box plots we are using 5-number summary. That is what? Minimum value, quartile 1, median value, quartile 3, and maximum value. Right? Here, what is a box plot? Box plots are ends of the box, right, with quartiles, median, and see outliers. Here outliers are representing by using, see this outliers. It is an higher value as well as lower value. Higher value and lower value. These are called what? Outliers. What is an outlier? Outlier is a higher and lower value. Then we already discussed two more measures called as variance and standard deviation. Variance and standard deviation. See, here variance is representing by using S square and standard deviation is representing square root of variance, means square root of S square. And we already discussed the box plot. It is a 5-number summary. Box plots are used to represent the data. Here data is representing in the form of boxes. Because of that reason, this is called a box plot, right? Here box plot having two quartiles. First quartile is representing with Q1 and second quartile is representing with Q3. The difference between third and first quartile is called as IQR. IRQ. IRQ indicates, see, IQR. This one is IQR, interquartile range. There is a typing mistake. This is what? Interquartile range. That is IQR. Now observe this IQR. And median value. And here we also used whiskers. Here whiskers are nothing but minimum and maximum values, right? Here whiskers are nothing but minimum and maximum value. Observe this. Here this is what this line is called whisker and this line is also called whisker. The bottom line is called whisker. This bottom line is also treated as minimum value. And the top line is also treated as whisker. This is what? Maximum value, right? The difference between minimum and maximum value is called range. And the difference between first quartile and third quartile is called as interquartile range, right? See, this is the two-dimensional representation of a box plot. The earlier one is three-dimensional representation of box plot, right? Here we are considering only 2 dimensions. The x-axis shows branch information, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, like this. And y-axis shows unit prices. See, at branch 1, the unit prices begins from 40 and ends with 150. In branch 2, the unit price begins with 60 and ends with 180. Like this, the box plots shows the box plots disperse the data. And observe this. What about the first quartile of branch 1? First quartile of branch 1 represents Q1 represents 60. And third quartile value is 100. And middle quartile value is means median value is 80. Median value is 80. Like this, the data is dispersing. The data is dispersing, right? Here, how many box plots are appearing? 4 box plots are appearing. Per each branch, 1 box plot is appearing, right? I collected this example from data warehousing and mining Camber textbook, Canon Camber textbook. And this is another data dispersion technique, that is what? Histogram. Histogram is nothing but a bar chart, right? We already drawn many number of bar charts while learning the Excel or Word in the MS Office, right? A histogram is a bar graph or bar chart. What it is going to represent? It is going to represent the buckets. What bucket contains? Bucket contains a range of outcomes in the form of columns. Where these range of outcomes are representing? These range of outcomes are representing as a bucket on the x-axis. On the x-axis. And its equivalent count is representing on the y-axis. Observe this. This is x-axis. On the x-axis, these buckets are placed. And count of the bucket always representing on the y-axis. This is what? Y-axis. On the y-axis, the bucket counts are representing like this, right? With the help of histogram, the data clearly visualized. See, for visualization and data distribution purpose, we are using this histogram. Histogram is like a bar chart or bar graph. Here, histogram contains buckets. These buckets are arranged on the x-axis, and its equivalent count is mentioned at the y-axis. Here, this y-axis shows number of occurrences or percentage of occurrences. Number of occurrences or percentage of occurrences, right? Like this, the data visualized and distributed in the geometric coordinates. And the next one is types of features. Here, features are classified into 4 types. But initially, these features are considered as 3 types. Those are called quantitative features, ordinal features, categorical features. I will explain each and every feature. And there is another type of feature called Boolean feature. We already know the Boolean values in a programming language like C. Boolean means either true or false. In programming language like C, Boolean values are representing by using 0 and 1. Whereas in programming language like Java, Boolean values are representing by using true and false. See, now we discussed 4 important features: quantitative features, ordinal features, categorical features, Boolean features. Here, what these features will give? These features will give information. These features will give information. For example, you may take a quantitative feature. The quantitative feature have the highest information capacity, followed by ordinal, categorical, and Boolean. See, Boolean having only 2 values. One is the true and another one is false. Similarly, ordinal, categorical having very less features, very less information. This maintains very less information when compared to the quantitative features. These features are explained in this table. See, observe this. The feature name is what? Quantitative feature, ordinal feature, and categorical feature. Which one follows an order? Quantitative features may follow the order. Yes. Ordinal features also follows an order, but categorical features doesn't follows an order. Means categorical features may be week names, color names, month names, designations, etc. If you take a categorical feature like a color may be red color, green color, yellow color, white color, etc. There is no order, right? If you take an ordinal variables 1, 2, 3, 4, there is an order. If you represent the quantity may be the numeric value. Here we may represent the quantity in proper order, right? Similarly, ordinal features, we can't measure, we can't scale the ordinal features. We can't scale the categorical features, but we can scale the quantitative features. Suppose if you want to represent 100 instances, you may arrange 100 instances on the scale like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Like that, we may arrange the quantitative features on a particular scale. And what is the tendency we are using on the quantitative features? We may calculate the mean value. For ordinal features, we'll calculate the median value as a tendency, and for categorical value, we are using mode as the tendency. Similarly, data For data dispersion, we are using the following measures like range, variance, and standard deviation for quantitatives. For ordinals, we are using quantiles like a 0th percentile, 1 percentile, 25th percentile. That is called what? Quartile. Right? 15th percentile. That is what? Median. 75th percentile. That is what? Quarter 3. Means what? For box plots, we are using ordinal variables. Coming to the categorical variables, right? For categorical variables, we are not using these range, variance, and standard deviation. Why? Because to represent the colors, we are using colors like red, green, blue, yellow. We can't calculate a variance, standard deviation, and quartile, mean value, middle value like this. Right? These are the different attributes, the different features we are using to construct the models. To perform the tasks and to construct the models, we are using features. And one more important point here you need to remember is Boolean variables. No, sorry, Boolean features. The Boolean features either true or false. Either true or false. Boolean features also contains very less information. Where more information is available in quantitative variables, quantitative attributes. See, in data warehousing and mining, features are called as attributes. Features are called as attributes. In machine learning, these attributes are called as features. Right? Quantitative features, ordinal features, categorical features, and Boolean features. Now coming to the first one, observe this. Here, ordinal features maintains the order, but we can't scale the ordinal features. We can't measure ordinal features on the scale. Right? Here, ordinal features is some totally ordered sets. What is an ordinal feature? It is an ordered set. Right? Here I would like to give an example for this. Set of characters or a string. Set of characters are also called as a string, right? This is what an ordinal set. Ordinal set. And coming to the next example, we may give set of integers also. This is what set of characters. We may write set of integers also. Set of integers also to represent the ordinal features. And we may write a set of house numbers, but we can't disperse all these on a scale. Why? Because set of characters we can't measure on the scale. Right? And coming to the next one, next type is see, the feature is quantitative feature. Just wait. Another example here I would like to give, that is a rank. Here we are maintaining rank like a first rank, second rank, third rank. That one is also is an order. Similarly, we may give designation. The designation may be professor, associate professor, assistant professor. Like this also we may provide the order. See, these are what? Ordered sets. Ordered sets. Ordered set of values. These ordered set of values are representing by using ordinal features, right? And coming to the next type, that is the categorical features. Here, categorical features allows both ordering as well as scale. Means we can measure categorical features on a fixed scale, and we can arrange categorical variables in proper order. Right? Except mode, it performs all the it allows all the calculations, right? And one subspecies of an categorical feature is Boolean feature. we already know what is a Boolean feature, which maps into the truth values like true and false. It allows true and false. And coming to the next one, till now what we discussed about statistics of dispersion. Under statistics of dispersion, we discussed two important points. One is variance and another one is standard deviation. And the third type is measuring the dispersion of data. For data dispersion, we are using quartiles, interquartile range, 5-number summary like box plots, and we are also using variance and standard deviation. Now observe this. Box plot is a 5-number summary. In box plots, we are using minimum and maximum values. These minimum and maximum values are representing by using whisker lines, and Q1, Q3 are used as quartiles. Here Q1 value is the 25th percentile, Q3 is equivalent to 75th percentile. Here M indicates the median value. Here median means middle value, right? The difference between quarter 3 and quarter 1 is called as IQR, that is interquartile range. This is the simple box plot representation. These box plots are used to disperse the data. For visualization and data distribution also we are using box plots. Similarly, we are using histograms for data visualization and data distribution. Here each one is called as one bucket. See 9. This bucket contains 9 elements. This bucket contains 41 elements. This bucket contains 34 elements. Like this. Here each bucket shows some count. All these buckets are arranged on the x-axis, and its equivalent it measured count is representing on the y-axis. Right? And there are 4 different types of features available in machine learning: categorical features, ordinal features, and quantitative features, and Boolean features. This table shows clearly each and every feature with the order, with the scale, and tendency and dispersion. Coming to the next one, that is feature transformation. I will explain feature transformation in my next video. Right. Thank you for watching this video. I will share assessment link to you. All of you must do the assessment test.